You know that sudden sinking feeling that hits you right before you fall asleep when your mind starts calculating exactly how much you owe on your credit cards? You are definitely not alone in feeling trapped by a cycle of minimum payments that barely make a dent in the principal balance. We often treat consumer debt as just a normal part of modern life, a simple math problem involving balances and interest rates. But the reality is far more invasive, creeping into every corner of your daily existence. Exposing the profound reality of this burden reveals that the true price tag is rarely printed on your monthly statement. The unseen costs of carrying balances month after month manifest as a constant low-grade anxiety that drains your energy and fractures your focus. Studies show a direct correlation between high financial obligations and a severe negative mental health impact, leading to sleep deprivation, strained relationships, and a persistent sense of dread. You are paying for those past purchases with your present peace of mind. Beyond the emotional toll, there is a massive opportunity cost that quietly steals your future choices. Every dollar you send to a credit card company is a dollar that cannot be used to fund your dreams, start a business, or secure your retirement. When a large portion of your income is spoken for before the month even begins, your ability to pivot, take risks, or simply walk away from a toxic job is severely compromised. Consumer debt does not just cost you money, it costs you your freedom. To understand exactly how much this is costing you, we have to look at the undeniable power of compound interest, which is the process where the interest you earn, or in this case owe, generates even more interest over time. When you are investing, this is the engine of wealth creation, but when you are carrying high interest balances, it is a relentless force working against you. The longer you wait to aggressively attack those balances, the more exponentially expensive that initial purchase becomes. Breaking free requires a deliberate and aggressive plan of attack, specifically using proven frameworks like the debt snowball or the debt avalanche methods. The debt snowball involves paying off your accounts in order from the smallest balance to the largest, regardless of interest rate, to build quick psychological momentum. The debt avalanche, on the other hand, targets the balance with the highest interest rate first, mathematically saving you the most money over time. Both strategies require you to make minimum payments on everything else while pouring every extra dollar into your primary target. Implementing either of these strategies demands absolute clarity on where your money is actually going every single month. You have to sit down, pull up your bank statements, and meticulously track your spending to identify the leaks in your cash flow. This is not about restricting your joy, but rather about redirecting your hard-earned money away from fleeting conveniences and toward your ultimate financial liberation. Every subscription canceled or dining out expense reduced is fresh ammunition for your debt elimination plan. The moment you transition from passively making minimum payments to actively executing a targeted elimination strategy, a profound psychological shift occurs. The heavy, suffocating anxiety begins to lift, replaced by a fierce, empowering sense of agency and control over your own life. You are no longer a victim of your financial circumstances, but an active participant in dismantling the very structures that have been holding you back. This newfound clarity often spills over into other areas of your life, boosting your confidence and overall well-being. Real quick, if budgeting and paying off debt still feel overwhelming, I built something to fix that. It's called the Wealth Playbook. It's a simple app where you plug in your income and your debts, and it instantly shows you a budget that actually works and the fastest way to be debt-free. No spreadsheets, no logins, no finance degree required. I made it for exactly where most of us start, from scratch. The link's in the description. Go check it out and let me know your debt-free date in the comments. With a clear system in place, it becomes glaringly obvious just how much potential wealth was being swallowed by those interest charges. Think about the hundreds of dollars leaving your checking account every month just to service past decisions, completely evaporating into thin air. That is capital that could be working for you, generating passive income, and building a fortress of financial security for your family. The true tragedy of owing money is not the balance itself, but the delayed timeline of your own financial independence. Imagine taking those exact same monthly payments and redirecting them into assets that actually pay you just for owning them. This brings us to the concept of dividend yield, which is a financial ratio that shows how much a company pays out in dividends each year relative to its stock price. Instead of you paying a 24.9% APR to a bank, the market is effectively paying you a yield to hold an investment. It is the exact opposite of consumer debt, transforming you from a borrower into an owner. As you relentlessly apply your chosen elimination strategy, you will start to see entire accounts hit zero, and that feeling is absolutely intoxicating. The momentum builds on itself, and the sacrifices you made in your daily spending suddenly feel entirely worth it. You realize that you are not just clearing a ledger, you are systematically buying back your future time and energy. Each eliminated balance represents a permanent raise in your monthly disposable income. To accelerate this process, you must continually optimize your living expenses without crossing the line into total deprivation. It is about finding the sweet spot where you are aggressively paying down obligations while still enjoying the simple, low-cost aspects of your daily life. Negotiating lower rates on your insurance, meal planning to cut grocery costs, or finding free local entertainment all contribute to a wider margin between your income and your expenses. That expanding margin is the exact fuel you need to speed up your journey. Once the crushing weight of high-interest obligations is gone, you can begin to focus on wealth preservation and growth through proper asset allocation. Asset allocation is simply the strategy of dividing your investment portfolio among different asset categories like stocks, bonds, and cash to balance risk and reward according to your specific goals and timeline. You are building a diversified foundation that can weather economic storms and steadily grow your net worth over decades. This is how generational wealth is actually constructed, one deliberate choice at a time. The emotional transformation that accompanies this transition from negative net worth to positive wealth accumulation is truly life-changing. The removal of that constant, low-grade financial stress allows your nervous system to finally relax, improving your physical health and deepening your personal relationships. You will find yourself making decisions based on what you actually want out of life, rather than what your FICO score or your credit limit dictates. True peace of mind is waking up knowing you owe nothing to anyone. Of course, maintaining this freedom requires extreme vigilance to ensure you never slide back into old habits. The temptation to finance a new car or put a vacation on a credit card will always be there, cleverly disguised as a harmless monthly payment. You must ruthlessly reject the normalization of borrowing for depreciating consumer goods, recognizing that every new loan is a direct threat to your hard-won independence. Cash flowing your lifestyle becomes the absolute non-negotiable standard for your financial life. As your capital grows, the income generated by your investments begins to compound, creating a snowball effect of positive cash flow. When you consistently reinvest those payouts, buying more shares that produce even more payouts, your wealth begins to scale without requiring additional labor on your part. This is the ultimate realization of making your money work for you, rather than you working endlessly for your money. The math that once held you captive is now the very mechanism propelling you forward. There will come a specific day when the passive income generated by your investments exceeds your basic living expenses. This is the mathematical definition of financial freedom, the exact point where working becomes an option rather than a rigid necessity. You will look back at the days of losing sleep over credit card minimums and realize just how far your discipline and determination have carried you. The journey from deep in the red to totally financially independent is the most rewarding path you can walk. To protect this extraordinary progress, a fully funded emergency cash reserve is absolutely critical. This is a dedicated pool of liquid cash, typically covering 3 to 6 months of living expenses, sitting in a high-yield savings account specifically designated for unexpected disasters. This reserve acts as an impenetrable wall between you and the temptation to ever use a credit card for an emergency again. It is the ultimate insurance policy for your peace of mind and your ongoing wealth-building strategy. Looking back, it is easy to mourn the time and capital lost to the banking system during those years of financial struggle, but dwelling on past mistakes is just another form of unseen cost, draining the energy you need to build your future. The lessons learned in the trenches of debt elimination forge a level of financial resilience and wisdom that cannot be acquired any other way. You have transformed a massive liability into the ultimate catalyst for your long-term success. Going forward, your spending plan evolves from a restrictive tool of survival into a proactive blueprint for your ideal life. You are now allocating funds toward investments, charitable giving, and meaningful experiences with total intentionality. Because you have mastered the art of living below your means, you can afford to be incredibly generous with your resources and your time. Your budget is no longer a reminder of what you owe, but a reflection of your deepest values and aspirations. The absence of financial dread allows a profound, quiet confidence to settle into your daily routine. You can walk into any room, face any economic downturn, and navigate any career transition, knowing that your financial house is entirely in order. This level of security dramatically reduces friction in marriages, eliminates a major source of existential anxiety, and allows you to be fully present in the moments that actually matter. You have successfully reclaimed the mental bandwidth that was previously hijacked by financial survival. When that first significant dividend deposit lands in your brokerage account, it fundamentally alters your perception of income. You realize that wealth is not just about hoarding cash, but about building cash-flowing systems that sustain your lifestyle indefinitely. The knowledge that thousands of corporate employees are effectively working to generate a return for you as a shareholder is a powerful paradigm shift. It is the ultimate reward for your patience, discipline, and unwavering commitment to financial literacy. You now stand on a solid foundation, equipped with the knowledge and the habits necessary to navigate whatever the economy throws your way. The strategies that pulled you out of a deep financial hole are the exact same strategies that will propel you toward generational wealth. You have proven to yourself that you possess the grit to confront difficult truths and the discipline to execute a long-term plan. The transformation from a stressed consumer to an empowered investor is complete. If you are still at the beginning of this journey, staring at a mountain of obligations and feeling completely overwhelmed, please know that the path forward is entirely possible. It requires a willingness to face the numbers honestly, the courage to make temporary sacrifices, and the patience to let the math work in your favor. You are absolutely capable of breaking this cycle, rewriting your financial future, and stepping into a life of total abundance. Every small, disciplined choice you make today is a brick in the foundation of your future freedom. The hidden costs of carrying balances are far too high a price to pay for fleeting conveniences. By exposing the true impact of these obligations, you can harness the necessary anger and motivation to finally break free. The road to lasting wealth begins the exact moment you decide that your peace of mind is worth more than any purchase. Take that first step today, reclaim your future, and start building the life you truly deserve. It's called the Wealth Playbook. It's a simple app where you plug in your income and your debts, and it instantly shows you a budget that actually works and the fastest way to be debt-free. No spreadsheets, no logins, no finance degree required. I made it for exactly where most of us start, from scratch. This link in all descriptions. https://Dividend Playbook. Real quick, if budgeting and paying off debt still feel overwhelming, I built something to fix that. It's called the Wealth Playbook. It's a simple app where you plug in your income and your debts, and it instantly shows you a budget that actually works and the fastest way to be debt-free. No spreadsheets, no logins, no finance degree required. I made it for exactly where most of us start, from scratch. The link's in the description. Go check it out and let me know your debt-free date in the comments. This link in all descriptions. https://Dividend Playbook, gumroad.com, wealth.